Hi everybody, sorry about the delay with the midterm break. I was occupied. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. Few people here today. No, sorry about that business. There was a bit of a delay there when me getting started up. With a few people on, I hope everyone is okay. I hope everyone's okay to start now. I'll get the lesson up for us now in 1 minute. We just got caught out business. That's all that happened. If you want to start your video now. I will get started up. So guys, hope everyone's well today. We are working today with Microbit. So again, we did Microbits a few weeks ago, but just a reminder, if anyone hasn't done this before, if you have a Microbit, fantastic. I should have a Microbit here in my bag to show you guys. It's great if you have one. If you don't have one, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. You'll be able to code your virtual Microbit along with us today. And then if you do get a Microbit, you'll be able to download your code onto that. If not, no panic, you'll still have your virtual Microbit to code. You're all good. So our first step today, guys, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to jump into our code today. So I think my screen should be sharing there. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can see my screen. Well done. Okay, we're good to go. Thanks, guys. So our first step today, guys, is to create a new project. So we need to open up that website again, makecode.microbit.org. So you can either do that by going to a new web page or by clicking on this link on the Coding Ireland screen. And it should open up a new screen for you now that has the Make Code Microbit screen. Now you'll notice what will happen here is you'll sometimes have your last project, even if you're not logged in, you might have your last project that you made still saved here. It's a good part about Make Code Microbit is that it automatically saves things on your accounts. So no account needed, which is always nice because I see people who have difficulties with Scratch when they don't have an account, and it is sad, and you've worked so hard on your project and it doesn't come together in the end. And like always, guys, we're going to make a new project. This one's going to be called Light Clapper. So Light Clapper. And I'm going to create and get to my screen, and I am going to click step complete. I think a lot of you guys have already finished that step, but if you're not, follow along now, please. With one or two new faces on here, guys. Sorry about the delay. It's not normally delayed, or maybe it is. And let me just pull up some questions while we're going. I think most people are probably finished that first step before me. Let me just double check the names I have here. Ice Dice, Moon Boy, Stargirl, Mewy, that's me. Milan, okay, the usual faces. Well done, guys. You're all on the ball today. So our next step, guys, is create a variable. So step one, we're going to create a variable. So this project is going to be that we detect when we clap using the microphone of your Microbit. So your Microbit has lots of different sensors. We talked about this last time. One of the sensors in your Microbit is a microphone. Your Microbit can listen out for noises. Now, it's not anything like, listening to every word you say, but it can listen to loud noises, quiet noises, and things like that. So it is useful. So in this project, we're going to be detecting when we clap using the microphone and the Microbit. When we detect a clap, we want the lights on the LED Microbits to flash on. Or if they're already on, we want them to turn off. So to do this, we need to make a variable saying what's changing, which is whether the light is on or off. So we're going to do that. We're going to create a variable called light on. So in the Make Code Microbit, we go to the red section called variables. We need to create a variable. We're going to call it light on. I always had trouble spelling light when I was younger. L-I-G-H-T. We're going to call that light on. And then on start, when our Microbit turns on, we're going to set light on to and we want it to be false. So that is in logic. Scroll down a little bit here, and down at the bottom of logic in that kind of aqua blue section, you will see true or false. We want false. So that's our first piece of code for this lesson. If you want to try and run it, there's not a whole lot to see, to be honest with you. Your microbit should still be blank. But we've created our variable in the variables section, and then we've added in this false section. So what I'm saying here is we want, when we start it, to recognize that the light is off. So can you guys go and do that step and click complete? Don't mind that. Good job, guys. Question. I'm going to have to get some good questions up. Maybe some trivia questions this week. All right, guys. It's going to be a random quiz today. Just random quiz questions. First question. How many legs does a spider have? Lads, you are all flying ahead. Well done. How many legs does a spider have before I move on? 8. Well done, Mewy. Moon Boy, well done. Stargirl Business, Dr. Sigma, well done. Name still makes me laugh. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the next step. It is the sound threshold. So this is basically saying we want the microphone to listen up for a certain level, a certain volume of noise. So to do this, we're going to use a set like threshold 2, and then we want to pick 128. Now that's okay to do. We're going to go into input. We're going to scroll down, and I always lose it in MakeCode Arcade. We're going to go into input. I always find it helpful to go into these little videos. Input, and it's in the more section. I have to say, I'm more of a Scratch man now. I like my MakeCode, but I think I'm better at Scratch. I think I'm able to find things a little bit easier at Scratch. So our sound threshold is going to be 128. That's what we're going to keep it at, just like we said. And click done. Don't forget, guys, click on your awards and see what you got. Thunderstorm Moon. That's pretty cool. That should be my nickname, Thunderstorm Moon. Right, guys, next question. What is the color of an emerald? Nice one, Milan. But can anyone tell me what the color of an emerald is? Maybe straight in. Stargirl, well done. Milan finished. Milan, have you gone down to the end section, the last question? You'll be able to find a challenge, so a customizer challenge. Have a read of that and see if you can code that. That's where you really get to show off your coding ability, when you get to extend it. So have a look. Right, guys, I'm going to go to question 4. Step 4. Now it's time we need to tell the microbit to listen. Okay, so this stage, our microbit is just working away. Our virtual microbit is not doing a whole lot. So we need to tell it to listen out for a loud noise. So it's only one little piece of code. It's an input in that pink section. And we're going to scroll down the bottom. And the reason it's down the bottom is because this is a version 2, a V2 microbit. Not every microbit has that microphone. So they've added that in after they made the original version. I think if you've got your microbit in the last year or 2, you should be fine. So that's all. When you do this, you should see on your virtual microbit, there is a microphone setting, and you get like a little gauge. That's telling you the level of noise we're listening for. So we're listening out for noise that's about 128. I'm not even sure what they're measuring that in. But when you go back in, click done. All right, guys, I'm going to give you another question. And this one is probably more of a spelling test than it is anything else. Can you tell me what is the name of the boy whose nose grew longer every time he lied? Probably more of a spelling question than it is anything else. I don't think I'd be able to write this man's name. Oh, we've had some. I don't know if anyone's spelled it right yet, but a lot of tries. I don't think I'd be willing to try and type it in either. But y'all are right. It is Pinocchio. Well done. Okay, guys, we need to add, and then add the if then else. Guys, when we're doing this if then else, I'm just going to talk about this for a second. This is like a condition we're adding into the code. And it's really important when you're making really complicated projects because it means that we're telling the code to start looking out for things and only do things in a certain amount of time. Stargirl, that's okay. You don't need your microbit now. You have the virtual one. If you want, you can connect a microbit to a tablet. It's just you need to download the app and you need to do it with Bluetooth. So there's a few extra steps. Whereas when it is just plug it into your computer, it's slightly easier. So when we add in this condition, we're saying if not light on. So that is if the light is off, then something. So well done, Milan. Well done today. We need to add in the if then else. So that is going to be in that kind of, I don't know what kind of color you call it. Aqua. And I'm going to add it into my loud. On loud sound, if something happens, then something, or else something. But there's one other piece of code we have here. We have to add the if it's not light on. So we need to say logic, scroll down, and there's a not. So there's two pieces here. If not, and then we go to our variables, light on. So if not light on, then what happens now? We need to be able to figure out what happens there. Ever go back into Coding Ireland, click you're done. Well done. All right, guys, well done. Follow those steps. There were a few people waiting on a few steps back. So I'll pause here for a second. I'm going to see my award. Vehicles. Motorbike, very good. Okay, here comes one. How many planets, this one's going to be controversial. How many planets are in the solar system? I'll tell you why it's controversial in a second. How many planets are in the solar system? Stargirl says 9. That would have been my answer too. But Milan, Mewy, disagree. Milan and Mewy, can you tell me the planets that you're not counting? Jesus, you count 9. Why are we getting different answers, I wonder? There's one planet that's causing a bit of confusion. 8 plus Pluto, says Dr. Sigma. And he's right, yeah. Don't even know what Pluto is. Pluto isn't called a planet anymore. They call it something else. I bet you guys didn't know. I bet you guys covered this in school. So Pluto's not called a planet. It's called something else. Planet 9 is theoretical. It's not theoretical. It's not a meteor. It's a dwarf planet. Venus, you're right. So Pluto is actually so small, unfortunately, that they've taken away its title. So they've taken away its thing, unfortunately, for Pluto. But sure, look, I always like Pluto. I'll still count it. So, guys, what we've coded now is that we've said if the light is not on, then what's going to happen when it hears a loud noise? We want it to light up, obviously. So our next one is what we wanted to. A lot of support for Pluto in the chat. Respect for Pluto. If the light is not on, we want it to light up. And this one's kind of cool because you get to design your own LED screen now. So back in basic, up in the blue section, you need to grab that LEDs and throw it up into the, if the light is not on, then show. I'm gonna have to draw something here. So I can light them all up. I can pick a certain pattern if you want. You can spell a letter, maybe a letter that's in your name. That'd be cool. Or you could do some sort of cool design. Here's one that has gonna like leave a line in the middle. But you guys can do whatever you like. But there's one last piece of code you need to add before we finish that step, which is set light on to true, which means you gotta take what we had up here. So it's in the variables. So it's set light on. So we need to say the light is now turned on, which is logic, which is true. Set light on to true. So now we're saying when the light is on, we recognize that it's on. So guys, go do that. Go back in and click done. Well done. Right, rest in peace, Pluto. Yeah, Milan, if you want to catch up, we have a lesson coming up next week if you're happy to move on. So we'll see you then. I'll promise I'll be all time next week. Okay. Here is going to be, I don't know if you guys will get this one. What is the response to see you later, alligator? If I said that now, if I said see you later, alligator at the end of this lesson, what would your response be? See you later, alligator. Christmas tree, that's a bit out of season. Few people catching up now. Coder Rockets catching up. He's all here. Oh, a few people here. Mewy has this project completed after a while. Crocodile. Yeah. After a shot, Crocodile. I haven't heard that one. See you in a while, Crocodile. Tell you what, guys, you're so eager to get these questions down. You're spelling. Oh my! I hope your teachers don't ever see it. You're right. See, in a while, Crocodile. Classic. Who says I will? It's good to know that's still going because I always say that. See you later, alligator. You know what, Crocodile? I still think it's cool. I'm going to give you one more question before we move on, which is, who is Minnie Mouse's boyfriend? Who is Minnie Mouse's boyfriend? I was going to actually reverse that question when I started it, but I said the wrong name, so I called it in time though. Who's Minnie Mouse's boyfriend? A very famous person. He's in lots of movies. Mewy, well done. Moon Boy, well done. Stargirl, that's okay. It's not school here. We're not worried about spelling. Mickey Mouse, we're all good. All right, guys. We're going to go on to the next step, which is we told our code now we want it to turn on when it claps. So when it hears a loud noise, it's going to turn on. Now we need to say, what else, if it's not light on? Or if it's not light on. If your lights are on, what'll happen? And it's basically the opposite. We don't have to draw anything. We only have to add two little pieces of code. One of them on your basic is just clear screen, which is just basically saying, won't show me anything. And we need to kind of copy that variable setting that we had last step. And we need to say, if the light is on, then it is false. So this, when we have our variable, that's basically saying, that's what's changing here. It's not the sound, it's not anything. Whether the light is on or off is what we're telling the microbit. So once we have that in, we're nearly done. Mewy already flew it with the quiz. Well done, Mewy. Okay. I'm going to ask you some questions. And they're going to be hard ones because you deserve it. What is a group of lions called? It sounds like the beginning of a joke, but I'm actually just asking a quiz question. What is a group of lions called? There's a word we'd use for like, oh, there's like 6 lions and they're walking away. What are a group of lions called? Oh, Stargirl, very quick. Bees is very quick. Moon Boy, very quick. Pride, if anyone doesn't know. You'd probably know it if you've ever watched The Lion King. Very famous pride of lions in that one. Led by Simba. There's a new Lion King out there recently. Did anyone see that new Lion King? I heard it was okay. We're waiting on a few more people just to catch up here, guys. Moon Boy, would you rate it out of 10? What would you give it? Or would you recommend? Beeson says no, but I don't know if he means... Oh, Moon Boy says no, capitals. He's not a fan. Beeson, I don't know if you haven't seen it or if you don't recommend it, but... Strong no. Okay, guys, and we're gonna do... That's our simulation. So, actually not a whole lot of code in this actual lesson, but what we're doing by that is you should be able to hear. I don't know if my virtual microbit's able to do this. Can you hear me? I'm not sure if I can hear. Mute audio. No, there's no audio to it. Your virtual microbit might not have this feature. So you might have to download this and see it on your actual microbits if you have one or if you have access to one. This might be a good time to do that. And just if you haven't done that, or oh, here, Coding Ireland has given me a bit of detail. You can actually go up and then up again. So you can test it out like this. So every time the noise on our microphone goes up past, what was our certain level, 128, it should either go on or off. So it is cool. Now, that's, testing in the simulator. We can finish there. Now, this is the fun part if you have your microbit. And I'm just going to talk through this. I don't actually have a microbit. I normally have one in here. No. I normally have one in my studio, but not today. But I can show you how. So using the MakeCode Microbit website, what you do is you get your USB cable, the black cable that comes with your microbit. You plug the fat end into your computer if you're using the computer, and the other end goes into your microbit up on top of the eyeballs. I like thinking of them as eyeballs. I think they're just a sticker. So one end into the computer, one end into your microbit. When you do that, your computer might make a noise and it might say, oh, we think there's a microbit connected. That's fine. You just click on either download or download and connect. Now, when you click that, it'll actually give you instructions on the screen. Connect your microbit to your computer. I don't actually have a microbit here. You will get this little box popping up on the top left-hand side of your computer. You need to click on the microbit, which is saying to your computer, that's my microbit, I want to connect it. And then click connect, and then you click pair. Now mine's going to say, no, I don't have any microbits because I don't have any on me. But I think most of you guys have one. So if you can download onto your microbit, I want you to do that now and test it out. Jesus, what are they a sensor for? I don't know if they are a sensor. Step 8's not doing that. Moon Boy, have a look. It's in your simulator. You have to grab on hold of this red line and you can pull it up and down. It's the simulator on the computer doesn't pick up voices. It's not recording you, but it's representing. That's when you do this, it's kind of telling the computer what level it is. You can pull it up and down. It's handy. Touch. It is a touch. I've never used that one. I hope we get to use that soon. I've never seen that. Oh, on logo is pressed. Ah, very good. That's very cool. Business, you should be teaching this class. Let's see my awards. I like to check up on them. Hurricane. Doesn't look like a hurricane. Looks like a Beyblade. So if you've sent over your code, fantastic. You can click done. You get 30 extra XP for that. We're sending it over. And here's where you get to have a bit of fun. So with your LEDs, you can create a smiley face, heart design. You can do whatever you like. This one has a heart. And if you want to show it to me, you can submit your project here. Remember, you would, on your Make Code page, click the button up beside the house, share your project. Now you need to copy that link and paste it into that Coding Ireland space. So to copy a link, you just click here. But to paste it, depends on what you're using. It could be if it's a tablet, you hold down, and it should give you the option. But if it's a laptop, you need to right click. I need to write name first. You need to name it, tell us a bit about it, and then right click, paste. And then you can share it, and I'll have a look at it. Being sent in here. Let's have a look. Test if quiet enough for a library. I'll have to go in and have a look at it. Or I'll have to look at the simulator. Be surprised to see what you've designed it for. So quiet. No. Oh, I get it. So yours is like a noise detector. So if you get the X in a library, it means you're being too loud. Business, do you work in a library? Is that your future career that you envision, and you're too tired of shushing people, so you have to have this to save you the hassle? The only problem with this is now you need to make an equally loud noise to get the X off your screen. I suppose you could reset it. No, very good. I like that. I like the title as well. It's very cool. Dr. Sigma, are you trying to get it downloaded to your Microbit? Do you have Microbit? Jesus, no, I love books though. I wonder what your favorite book is. I'll hold off on telling you my favorite book because I don't want to influence you. Moonboy, what's not working? What part of your project's not working? If you can let me know, I'll try my best to help you out. And I'm just gonna go in here, guys, and try and do a bit of extra learning points because I think I'm lacking a bit on my learning points. Moonboy, if you want to type in what's not working in your project, I'll try and help you as best I can. But you need to show it up to me on your screen. Here's Mui's project. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the simulator. Ah, very good. So yours yours starts off with a smiley face. That's cool. So you could have it, Mui, where your project starts off with a smiley face because you said on start smiley face. If you wanted to show your smiley face again, you would have it as when, I would have to be like if light on equals false, show LED smiley face. So that would have to go in the forever block, maybe somewhere else. Because then it would say if the full LEDs aren't on, show a smiley face. But that's really cool. I like that. I like the way you started off with a smiley face. Anyone else want to share in a project, guys? You feel free. It's just that you have to. Oh, I'm about to close mine one down. But this is the great thing about Make Code Microbit is that it's going to remember where I left off from. So I can check right back into my light clapper. So Mewy, I'm going to copy you for a second, and I'm going to show icon. Let's say you had a smiley face. I'll go for smiley face as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say forever. I think it's in basic actually. Forever if is my variable logic. If I want to say light on equals if not light on, so that's in logic again. Same thing as we had up here in the loud section. If I'm trying to figure it out because I've used a double negative. If not light on, if light on is false. So if no, I just want light on. I think this is me trying to put it together. If light on equals true, so that'll be in logic. If light on, then show icon smiley face. So I'm saying if on start I get my smiley face. Oh, I paused it. And as it goes louder, I get my X. And open down. Yeah, so it's doing that. It's kind of jumping out there. No, it's kind of doing both. Oh, I must have a bug in my code. But that'd be along the lines. Dr. Sigma has it there. The thing where you go up and down. Okay, Moonboy, what device are you using? Are you using a laptop? I think you are using a laptop. I wonder, yeah, is it if you click that? I wonder. No, it should work. Just make sure you're grabbing. No, it shouldn't. It should work, Moonboy. I'm not 100% sure. Do you want to try and share in your project, Moonboy? You can do that by clicking this button up beside the house. When you click that, you have to just say share project. You click copy. And on Coding Ireland, you can either just put that what you just copied straight into the chat here, or you can submit your project on the bottom of the page, and I can have a look at it. So do you want to submit it, Moonboy, and I'll have a look and see if there's anything the matter on my side. Or else, if it might be something really easy, it might be something like you just need to refresh the page. You just need to click that little circle button at the top. I know it's a frustratingly simple answer to a lot of things, but it actually is the solution more times than it isn't. So give a go, send that in to me. I'm having a look at, who am I looking at here? Dr. Sigma, the doctor. And he has his code. Let's have a look at our simulator. And up we get light, and down we get off light. Dr. Sigma, I thought you'd had some sort of emoji in there now, rather than just the white screen. Not bad job though. That's the basic project. I wonder, can you come up with something a bit more you? Stargirl, don't worry about being bad at this quiz now. Like you can actually go back and look. Don't tell anyone I said that. But what's the first step to this project? Let's have a look. Step 1, create a new project. Step 2, create a variable. So it's either one of them two. It is to go to that microbit. So you can go back and always have a look at your questions. No one's looking. And you can check it out. Mewy sent in one. Let's have a look, Mewy. Okay, let's have a look at this simulator. And we have it lift off. Oh, yours works very well. Yeah, Mew, that's good. I wonder how your Code change by if light on, then yeah, very good, Mui. I like the improvements. Mui, did you download that one onto your one? But if you want to send yours in, I think everyone did really well there, guys. Guys, I'm going to show you one thing about Make Code that's really cool. That's a little bit advanced because you guys are here and because we finished a little bit early. Let's have a look. So you guys have all used Make Code. You're all very good at using the blocks, which are these guys. They're great. They're fantastic. They're such a good way to learn coding, and they're fun because you can get a project done really quickly. But there are other types of code that you might use when you get a little bit older, when you get a little bit more complicated with your projects, or if anyone wants to become a software engineer, you might want to start using. So there's different types of code that you can actually look at up here. So there's two big types here. There's JavaScript, and there's one called Python, like the snake. I have no idea why they have the names. No idea who called them what. I'm guessing this was someone called Java. And Python, I think, is probably just because it sounded cool. So one thing that's really cool about code, and it's Arcade and Microbit, they're both very good at it, is that you can actually swap from the blocks and see what your code would look like if it was written in JavaScript. So it takes a few seconds. But if you actually, and I know it looks so weird, it looks really hard to read, but actually when you go through it, it's all there. All the stuff that you put in your project pops up again here. So input, remember the section we got it from was input. The input is on sound detected loud. Function if, so saying if the light is on, show basic LEDs. If the light is off equals true, else basic clear screen. So it's all the code you guys put in. You've done all this. It just looks a little bit easier and looks a little bit like friendlier when it's done in the blocks, rather than it's done in JavaScript. And Python, guys, doesn't look a whole lot different. It looks very similar. There's only small little differences in between the two. I won't get into them here. I wouldn't be able to explain them myself. But if you're ever really interested in coding, like websites or video games for PlayStation 5s or whatever, these are the kind of codes that go into them. But to be honest, I much prefer working with blocks. I think blocks are a lot more fun, and I understand them a lot better. Not that you know it, Moonboy. Not sure. Maybe it's an error, Moonboy. Sometimes there does be an error just on the screen. I wonder would Stargirl be able to give you a hand? Or is her project working very well? Well done, guys. You've all smashed it today. Website is HTML, I think, is a business, is it? And there's one called CSS as well. Now they're great. Each one is kind of suits a different thing. So some of them suit one type of coding better than suiting another type. And they're getting easier to do because you guys are learning them. You guys will be able to adapt and learn different ones really easily down the line. So, guys, we're just going to come to the wrap up now. This lesson was short but sweet. Stargirl, thanks very much for helping me out. Short but sweet this week. Microbit lessons. They tend to. It depends on the microbit lessons. Some of them can be really complicated. Some of them can be maybe a little bit on the easier side. Definitely this week a lot easier than the last week. The scratch lesson where it was colors. Coder Rocket says this one was easy. Coder Rocket, did you download onto your Microbit? And remember, guys, we do want your input. We want you to tell us if it's easy or too hard. So go down to the bottom of the page. You can rate this lesson out of 5. You can say if it was too easy. Say if it's just right. Say if it's too hard. Don't let us away with it. We want to get these lessons perfect for you. We want to be challenging you, but not going too hard. So tell me if the lesson was good, bad, easy, super duper, and whether we had too much time, just right, or not enough. And next week we can adjust things and we can see how to make things even better. I'll tell you what, because I was a little bit late, I'm going to do a bonus round, fastest finger, okay? So quiz questions. You don't need to do any questions in between. You don't need to do any steps. I'm just going to ask quickest questions, and we're going to have fastest. Who can type the fastest? I'm going to either make up questions or we're going to go trivia questions, but we'll see who can do it now. Okay, fingers at the ready. Fingers on your keyboards or on your tablets if you have them either. First question, fittingly, is what is the fastest land animal? So what is the fastest animal on land? And he waits, and he waits, and he waits. I have 2 answers, 3 answers, 4 answers, but I think Mewy's just repeated itself. We have a good few answers. Oh, who spelled it right? It's not a spelling test, so I'm not too worried about it. I think business was first with cheetah. And I think everyone else then got in with a variety of different spellings, which that's okay. Moonboy, does that work for you now? I see you've clicked the complete lesson step. I wonder what was the issue. I wonder. Okay, this is going to be this is a question. If you're going to secondary school soon, any of you guys, you'll definitely become familiar with this person. Who wrote the play? Who wrote the play Romeo and Juliet? It's a really famous guy. He wrote loads and loads of plays, and you have to study him when you're doing your junior cert, like when you're in secondary school. So you'll definitely get to know this guy. Well done, Moonboy. Good job. Very good. Mewy, you were, and I like the way I can see the seconds. Oh, it's actually an exact tie, but I'm going to give the point to Mewy because he has 3 answers. I'm going to give the point to Mewy that time. So business 1, Mewy 1. Shakespeare was the answer. Well done. Thanks for helping out, Sarah girl. William Shakespeare. Some people going with first names as well. Very good. Very upmarket, guys. You're very learned. Business not happy. All right. Here's one. How many sides does a hexagon have? How many sides does a hexagon have? Well done, Moonboy. Dr. Sigma. Oh, was it 1 second? 1 second left to spare. Well done. Business, go back to that drawing board. Hexagon has 6 sides. Cody Rocket, well done. Well done, Mewy. But it isn't an answer. It isn't a question of who answers the most times. It is a question of fastest finger. Well done. But somebody have to go back to maths now. I feel like you guys are up for a few of the harder ones now. In what city in Europe would you find the Eiffel Tower? What city in Europe is the Eiffel Tower in? It's not in Dublin. No, it's not in Cork. It's not in Galway. It's not in, well, it is in France, but that's not a city. I need a city. Oh, Stargirl. First one I saw. Stargirl in with Paris. Well done. And remember, guys, it isn't the most answers. It is. You just have to write your answer once and try and be fast. I think sometimes when you click enter like 5 times, it repeats your answer a lot. So don't worry if there's a slight delay. It is coming through on my end. It's maybe just a bit of a delay on your end. Okay. There's some. Oh, here's a good one. What was the name of the first man to step foot on the moon? It's kind of a tricky one. If you don't know this one, you can't guess it really. But can you tell me the first man to step foot on the moon? Really famous. And he could lift loads of heavy things because he's got very strong arms. As I say it, Dr. Sigma and Cody Rocket. Oh, Cody Rocket, you're just 1 sec behind. Armstrong. Yeah, it was Neil Armstrong. Well done, guys. Very good. Very famous guy. You should look into him now. He's very good. I don't know if I'd fancy going to space. I think it'd be a bit claustrophobic for me. I'd get a bit worried about. Armstrong is his second name. Neil's his first name. All right, guys, and here's one for you guys who like to read in school. I'm gonna ask a few book questions. Okay. What is the name of Harry Potter's red-headed friend? So Harry Potter's friend who has ginger hair. What is his name? There's always a bit of a delay here when I ask the question. Everyone's furiously typing in. It's not Hermione. It is, of course, who was first in? Stargirl. It is Ron. I wonder if you guys seen the movies of them. I was talking to a few people the other day who hadn't seen the films. They're very good. Gotta think of some other books. Okay, what is the name of the Lightning Thief? There's a famous character who's in a book called Something Something and the Lightning Thief. What is his name? I don't know if they made a film of this one. I know a lot of boys and girls like to read these books as well. Something Something and the Lightning Thief. Yeah, business, very good. Mewy, very good. Spamming the answer board. I don't know if you're pressing anything wrong or multiple times or if it's just coming through a lot, but a lot of answers from Mewy. So that's a book, Percy Jackson Stargirl. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, that might be up your kind of tastes. I think it's about a guy. He's is he the son of a god or something like that? And he used to like all those Greek gods. It's meant to be very good. Business, would you recommend? Or has anyone read them books? Would they recommend? He's asleep at the wheel. Okay, next one's going to be a bit of it. It could be a few answers to this one. Name any Roald Dahl book. Name any book by Roald Dahl. Heading into some questionable territory there, Stargirl. I think it's more of a Greek god situation, so it's not quite a BFG says business. Matilda says Mewy. Matilda says Moon Boy. That's had a lot. That's very popular now because they have a few films out. BFG says Dr. Sigma. The Twits says Cody Rocket. Factory of Chocolate says Mewy. I think Danny the Champion of the World. Oh, that was a long one to spell out. Well done, Stargirl. I think my favorite Old Dahl is. I like the BFG, but I think Matilda is the best one. I like the story of the BFG. Oh, do you know James and the Giant Peach is good? And I think it's underrated. I don't think it gets enough credit. I think James and the Giant Peach is very good. Here's a question. Who do you think is better? Roald Dahl or David Walliams? Who do you think is a better writer? I think David Walliams has taken over a lot of Roald Dahl's kind of readers have now started reading David Walliams books. But who is a better writer? No right answers here because this is just pure based on your thoughts. 2 votes for Walliams. Mewy says Roald Dahl. Stargirl says both. That's fair enough. I think I'm always going to be a Roald Dahl fan now, myself. But the next author, Coda Rockets, David Wiley was fan too. Oh my god. Moon Boy says both. I haven't actually read too many. I read Mr. Stink. I know it's funny. World's Worst Children. That's a bit of recommendation there. Here's one for you. Name any book by the famous children's author, Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss? Dr. Seuss. Can you name any of his books? He's got a lot to pick from. He's probably even more famous than Roald Dahl or David Williams to put together. Especially his most favorite book. Oh, Beezus, I bet you do know his books. The Cat in the Hat. Well done, Stargirl. Very quick. The Cat in the Hat. Probably one of the most famous ones. Green Eggs and Ham. Moon Boy knew another one. Horton Hears a Who, says Coda Rocket. Well done. Green Eggs and Ham, says Dr. Sigma. Or, Beezus, well done, The Grinch. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. No one ever thinks about that as a book anymore. I always think about it as a film. But he wrote the original book for that. Coda Rocket says fire emoji. Obviously a big Dr. Seuss fan. All right, guys. I'm going to have to leave it there for the night. I have to look at my next. Dr. Sigma is mind blown about The Grinch being a book. We're going to leave it there for the night. Business did know him in the end. I'm going to actually just pull this up. I'll stop sharing my screen. I'm just going to have a look at our next few coding lessons. Do we have anything scheduled? I'm not sure if we do have one scheduled. So we'll have to actually go back to the drawing board. I'll have to have a think. You guys are all getting very good at this, at the projects we've been doing. So I'm going to have to raise the challenge a little bit. You guys are getting too good. Oh, look, we have loads of comments here. So, guys, I'm hoping I'll see you next week. I'm looking forward to it. It'll probably be a Make Code Arcade lesson. I think we did a Scratch last week, so I think Make Code Arcade next week. Well done today, everybody. I'll see you next week.